Three, two, one. Welcome back. Who Breathes Baseball outside. We're here with our friend Addison Barger. Addison, good to have you on board.
Yeah, no problem.
Some of you guys have seen videos of Addison. Addison's a kid that I've known for a long time. Maybe he was 10, 11. A place called Florida Baseball Heaven. He was part of that whole group there with a bunch of kids, and always liked the kid, always liked him, liked his energy. And one day I was able to work with him, and I met his dad. I met his dad before I met Addison. Addison was on the field before we started practice. I go, I like your kid. Just his intensity. He just looked like a ball player. Well, fast forwarded to what, 7 years later, 8 years later?
Yeah, 7 years.
7 years. Addison is 18 years old now.
Yep.
Just came out of King's High School in Tampa, in Hillsborough County, and down here in Florida. And Addison was selected by the Toronto Blue Jays in the 6th round. Actually, he just got done playing his first season in the Gulf Coast League, and I always told him about about rookie ball and extended spring and the whole first year. So we're going to talk to him a little bit about that, and kind of have himself introduce himself, talk about him a little bit, and then we'll ask him some personal questions. Addison, welcome on board.
Yep.
So introduce yourself, Addison.
Well, I'm Addison Barger. Just got done playing my first season with the Blue Jays in the Gulf Coast League, and now I'm here working with Benny.
So Addison, before we get into what happened this year, your ups and downs, your experience, you have had an interesting journey to where you are right now. I know your father and I are good friends, and he took a different twist than a lot of people. Talk about that a little bit, how you guys went about it since you were a little kid, the pact or the agreement you and your father made, and how you went about.
Well, yeah. I mean, I always had the desire to work, so that's like the most important thing, I think, for anybody. And then he homeschooled me, and he built a baseball field in the backyard. So obviously we're pretty crazy about it. And then after that, it was just about if I wanted to do it or not, and I did. So I put in the work every day. School was definitely a second priority in my life. Baseball is the top. So it was, I guess it was a risk, like just to play baseball, but it worked out. I mean, you put in the work.
I love it.
Works out.
So did you hear that? Baseball was first, school was second. So I sometimes have political answer I have to give to people. Go to school, Go do this, right? That's the right thing to say because, like he said, he took a risk.
Yeah.
It's kind of a gamble. But I'm from the same school. I think that if you're going to do something, you have to put all your eggs in one basket,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And then plan B is like way in the back, right?
Yeah.
So Addison, I homeschooled Addison. I used to get upset at him because we did schoolwork, and he's pretty bright by just winging it sometimes. He just has this knack of he's just a bright kid. And I used to get upset, and one day I just said, you know what? And his father told me too, he goes, you know what? He wants to be a baseball player. So we spend a lot of our time, 2 hours in the classroom, right? Would you say?
Yeah, something like that.
2 or 3 classroom, real relaxed. We went through the core classes, math and all that. Language, and then we spent 4, 5, 6, 7 hours playing ball, practicing in his backyard. Like he said, he has a batting cage, has a gym, he has a field, and then we had a team. We formed a team. So Addison, that was just awesome, man. And that's something that his father and I are writing a little format, a little pamphlet about how to go about doing that whole deal where baseball's first. So Addison, okay, so here we are 3 months later. You signed your contract, you were 18 years old, you came out of King's High School, you're pretty confident, you're a very confident kid. Talk about that first impression of professional baseball when you got on the field, when you started meeting the coaches, and you started seeing all these studs from different places.
Well, yeah, it was interesting. I mean, coming out of high school, the competition is it's night and day. It's way different in professional baseball. So that's a big adjustment I had to make, especially at the plate. It was just facing that tough pitching every single day, and just playing every day is the biggest thing. Trying to stay healthy, taking care of your body. It's hard, especially out in the sun every day. I mean, that's the biggest adjustment. So that's about it.
What was the biggest difference that you saw? I know you talked about the pitching, but what was the biggest that you said, wow?
Well, I mean, I'd just say it has to be like the pitching. I already said the pitching, but the ability to get breaking balls over, change-ups consistently, I mean, you're lucky to get some fastball. You might not get in a fastball and an at bat, and that's so much different than high school. Basically, in high school, you get a fastball no matter what. But
Yes.
professional baseball, you have to learn how to hit other pitches. You have to pick up on tendencies that pitchers have. There's a lot of, it goes into a lot more depth.
Yeah. And you're an aggressive guy, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of worked for you and against you, right?
Yeah.
So talk about that a little bit.
Well, the first time I would see guys, they would just attack me with fastball basically all the time because I'm not a big guy, high schooler. They're gonna come with a fastball, and I like that, and I'll be aggressive, and I'll hit the fastball. Then second time through, I'll probably just see through changeups or something, and that's something I had to adjust to.
Yeah, yeah. And Addison, I always told Addison he's gonna go far. He's gonna make it in baseball, God permitting. But just because his attitude, his confidence, his work ethic, if this kid didn't have the work ethic that he has, I wouldn't be around him. So okay, you finished the year. Talk about some of your struggles, and talk about some of the success that you had this year, because you had a lot of ups and downs, right?
Yeah.
That's pro ball pretty much, right?
Yeah.
So talk about that a little bit, so the kids out there understand.
Well, I mean, it's like a roller coaster, so I just think you can't get too. If it's going really well, just don't get your head too big. Don't get too high on yourself, you know.
Because the next day.
Yeah, because the next day you might go 0 for 4 with 3 Ks. So, yeah, it's like a roller coaster. Yeah, and then if you have like an 0 for 20 streak, don't get in your head too much, because the next day you might go out and go 3 for 4, which happened a lot to me, unfortunately.
And,
0 for 20.
Yeah, I know, but that happens.
Yeah, it happens.
What about on the field? Same thing, fielding.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, you just have to stay focused. You should be at the pro level. You should be consistent on the
Catching
field. Yeah,
routine ground balls.
You should be, and if you're not there yet, then you probably should be working on it more. And I mean, I think just with fielding, yeah.
Now, you know, I talked to your dad before you signed, and then when you had some of your struggles, and I said, you know, a lot of major leaguers had horrible first year.
Yeah.
I know Darryl Story hit like 230. I hit like 230. I mean, I didn't make it to the big leagues, but it's not a testament. It's not a checkpoint of where you're going to be.
Yeah.
So talking about that, the regimen of pro ball, you didn't have any problems with it because you already trained that way.
Yeah.
By me, yourself, your dad, Luis, right? All these guys have been in your life, right? So that was no biggie, right?
Yeah, same thing.
But did some of the kids struggle with the regimen?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, some of the kids had a tougher time with
The
that.
partying and the
Yeah, they wanted to do other stuff. They want to go, play video games. I don't know, whatever kids do. They would complain about the work a lot and stuff. I don't know.
Did you?
No, I didn't. I didn't think it was that much, to be honest. It's not that. I mean, it's gonna be a lot for most kids. You're gonna go in there, and you're gonna be shocked. But for somebody like me, I've been doing it my whole life, to the same format, same way. I was very used to it, and that gave me that advantage.
Yeah. Wow. So what did you take from this whole year of experience? Well, let me pause for a second. You signed with a local team.
Yeah.
Local in the sense that you played in Dunedin.
Yep.
And your home is in Dover, right?
Yeah.
In that area.
Yeah.
So it was a local thing. You didn't have to have a lot of bus rides and this and that. But explain what did you take from this year as far as playing, the culture, the coaches, the whole adjustment that you had to make.
Well, I mean, I would just say, like, the biggest thing I took from it, personally, is just taking care of myself, like, extremely, like, a lot. Like, just really focusing on taking care of myself, because I played every day. And that's, like, the biggest thing for me. Everything else was kind of, you hear about it in pro ball, like, traveling, all that stuff. I would say it's pretty normal. I had to wake up early, but what I took from it is, yeah, you really have to take care of your body to play every day and perform every day. And that's like the biggest thing.
Now, would you call it a humbling experience?
Yeah,
playing pro
definitely,
ball?
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
In
Yeah,
what
going
sense?
from high school, you dominate in high school. You face crappy pitching. I mean, all the kids are pretty bad. I mean, most of the kids are pretty bad in high school. You go to pro ball, everybody's on your level. So, and you're gonna find out that everybody's on your level. So, yeah, it's pretty humbling. Like,
Yeah, you gotta step it up.
yeah, you gotta step it up.
And Addison was a late bloomer. He was a little bitty kid, and his father used to all the time complain about his height and kind of get down, as his son. And I used to always tell him, "Don't worry about it." And then one day, all of a sudden, Addison just started growing, and he wasn't the little midget anymore. And he was able to put up some incredible numbers for a year. They did it. I like the way they did it. They did homeschool, and then the last 2 years, right? The last 2 years he played at a public school, King, and he was able to put some numbers and be seen by by a bunch of scouts and recruiters. But Addison had a scholarship to the University of Florida, and he had that option. So talk about that a little bit. You went on campus and you met the head coach and all that.
Yeah. I mean, I got an offer from UF. I took it. Everything was fine there. I just don't think it was ever something I really wanted to do, was go to college and play baseball. My goal was always to play professional baseball, and that's what I did. If somebody wants to go get their education first and, not take their chance in pro ball, that's their decision. But I did not want to do that.
And that's one thing him and I joked about. We always say, you're not going to step a day on our campus. But obviously you can't go around saying that.
No.
He had all the intentions to go there, but something else came up, which was part of his dream. So the way that works is you go back to the coach and say, hey, thank you for the opportunity, correct?
Yeah.
And you move forward. He knows. The coach has a checklist of the guy that are possibly going to sign professionally, and he has a reserve all the players. So it worked for both schools. Addison, what was the highlight of your year this year? If you could think back, what was the thing that you enjoyed the most? Not one particular game or whatever. What was the thing that you enjoyed the most?
Probably, I mean, it sounds weird, probably just like the consistency of the work. Like, I hate waking up early, but I enjoyed also having like a schedule.
Regiment,
like,
yes.
yeah, that regiment, that was nice. Like, just having something.
That's what I miss the most.
Yeah.
I don't. That's people ask me. That's what I love the most. That regiment.
Yeah. It gives you something to do. I mean, you have to wake up
early.
early. You get used to that. You go to work every day, 6:30. I mean, it sucks, but at the same time, it's like, it's the part that keeps it in order. Like, keeps it together.
Now, how did our preparation with me, Coach Luis, your dad, all the coaches, how did that prepare you for what you experienced this year?
I think it prepared me really well. I mean, everything was pretty much expected from what I've heard from you guys and all the work. I was already doing the work, so it didn't, nothing surprised me too much, and it was just.
What about the coaches? I know one day you went to your dad and go, Dad, this guy.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna say anybody's names, but
You don't have to.
No, but yeah, the coaches. I like the coaches for the most part, but yeah, you're gonna have a couple coaches that you're like,
Yeah.
kind of weird about.
Yeah. But
that's how. Yeah, that's the way it is. That's the way it is.
It's gonna be all the way up.
Well, in life too.
In life.
There's gonna be people that you don't.
Yeah, so it's you have guys that were weathered by the game.
Yeah.
A lot of guys didn't make it, so they approach it a little
They're
bit
crusty.
different.
They're all crusty and mad about it.
Yeah. But you're gonna find some positive guys, like you said, you're hitting coaches. You have one that you like, not your hitting coach, but a guy that talked to you about hitting.
Yeah.
So it's so refreshing to talk to Addison because I seen him grow up, and from day one, not because he signed professionally. I always told him that I believed in him. The question was his physical ability, not so much. He's one of the best fielders I ever seen. He throws the ball across the diamond 98. You never reached 100. You haven't reached 100.
Not from the infield.
Not yet. Is that a goal still?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably go on the radar eventually. Throw 100.
So that was one of my things. When I remember he was younger, he threw like 72, and then he started getting real crazy about throwing, and that's one thing that he worked hard on, his throwing, his running. This guy is relentless with his workout. He will not miss a workout. It's one thing when you're young, you like your body, you like the way you look. That's one of the reasons. But the main reason is because he wants to. He is flexing. So another thing is that he just wants to be the best. And this year he had a rough year at the plate in certain areas. He displayed some power, right?
Yeah. Most of my hits were extra base hits, really. So I hit a few home runs, a lot of doubles, some triples.
So what do they think? You're going back tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
To what they call instructional league.
Instructional league, yeah.
What do they call it now?
Rookie camp.
Rookie camp. So they take out the players that they need to polish a little bit more, the younger player.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of individual one-on-one. They'll have a game. They may take him out after one at bat and talk to him on the side and work with you. So what's one thing that you're looking forward to that you think they're going to work with you, or that you would like for them to work with you on, so you can become a better player?
Well, I think we're just going to work on. I was talking earlier. I hit a lot of fly balls during the Gulf Coast League, so we're going to try to get my bat flatter through the zone quicker. So basically, my barrel's in the zone longer.
Okay.
And that's something we're going to work on to create more low line drives.
So good. I always make this video so people could learn. Yeah. It's not so much to show off. I want to hit on that because we talked about that earlier. You and I talked about this years ago. Addison, hit more line drive. Addison, hit more line drive. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is a place for a guy like you that hits the ball in the air, right?
Yep.
But it's not right now.
Not right now.
How come?
well, just where my physicality, like how I am physically right now, my size, everything. I'm not huge, so if I'm playing on a big league field, I'm hitting deep fly balls. Occasionally they'll go out, but most of the time they're just gonna be deep fly balls, and at the pro level they're gonna be caught. So
Right now.
yeah, right now. So for a guy like my size, I should probably work on more hitting lower line drives, hard ground balls, get through the holes, just get more hits basically.
So in terms of angle and all that, because these people, they are.
Yeah, well, yeah. And basically, if you're a smaller guy, you should not be working on uppercutting and all the angles and
Long
crap.
triangle.
It's if you don't have the ability to hit the ball with the fence, it's useless. Like, what's the point? You're just gonna hit fly balls. So definitely maybe if you're a huge guy, you already have the power. Yeah, work on that. Uppercut, hit the ball out. But for a guy that's not as big or is not as big yet, just work on staying like on top of the ball, line
Yeah,
drive.
and you use a term in there, low, what do they call
Low
it?
line drive rate, like
Low line drive.
Yeah.
They actually have that?
yeah,
Wow. How do they measure that?
I don't know, because how many fly balls I've hit and then how many ground balls I hit. Like,
Yeah.
they want me to hit a lower line drive rate.
I have kids coming in here with the Zep and all that and all this stuff, and the machine's going off, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What do you think about all that?
I mean, I think it's good for measuring, like Zep and all that's good for measuring bat speed, trying to get your bat speed better. But as far as all the angles and stuff, I don't really believe in that.
Right now.
Yeah, I don't believe in that anytime. But if you just want to measure, like,
You
I
sound
want to
like
get my
Miguel-
bat speed up.
You sound like Miguel Cabrera. He has a video. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
He has a video. He said, launch angle what?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't worry about launch angle or anything, but it's good to measure bat speed. Like, if you want to get your bat speed up, like,
Yeah.
something you can improve upon every week. But
So Addison, listen, I know you don't like this kind of stuff. We're going to wrap it up. You're a very confident kid. Where do you see yourself in 3 years, 3 or 4 years?
3 or 4 years, hopefully the bigs. 3 years.
You think you got what it takes?
Yeah,
How come?
just because I believe I'm the hardest worker every time. Every day I go out there,
And you are.
Yeah. If
You
I'm
are.
working harder than everybody, I think it'll work out. I'll make it work.
And you have a good attitude.
Yeah.
How was it with you with teammates? I know you've been by yourself. You've been working by yourself for a long time in a little corner. How was that adjustment with teammates on a daily basis and guys with attitude? Because now you're professionals.
Yeah. I mean,
How was
no,
that?
it was fine. I liked all my teammates.
Yeah.
All my teammates were cool. We all got close. So no problem with the teammates. It's nice to work with people. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, if you enjoy being around them.
And the coaching staff.
Same, it's good.
When Barger will meet you tomorrow morning, 8:00, 1-on-1.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Extra work.
Oh, that's awesome. So Addison Barger, Barger, look for him. This kid's gonna do big things. He comes here once in a while to tune up. Coach Benny, I want to get some swings in, and you're gonna see him. You're gonna see him a lot, and he's part of Cool Breeze. He comes in. And he's gonna come in a little bit more to do clinics with the kids. So I'll announce that so you guys could have the opportunity to talk to him. Humble kid. I think that if Addison gets to the major league and becomes famous, you're gonna see the same kid. If not, I wouldn't be around him. So Addison, thank you so much.
Yep.
Wish you the best. Tomorrow you start, right?
Yep.
And you said in 3 weeks you're gonna be jacked up. I won't recognize you.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
How much you weigh right now?
Like 180,
And how much you gonna be in 3 weeks?
190.
That's it?
10 pounds in 3 weeks?
Is that a lot?
Yeah.
Want to bet on it? Let's bet on Chipotle. Let's bet a dinner at Chipotle.
All right.
Deal?
Yeah.
190?
Yeah.
So if you're not